Hi, I'm Andre, and Cats is the movie of the damn year. Listen, I'm gonna explain this movie. Spoiler alert, but seriously, you need to see this movie. This is not just a weird movie. This is an experience. This is something that needs to be experienced because I don't know how this movie got made. In 2019, at a time where movies play everything so safe, something like this was made and agreed upon to release. It's amazing. I will give Cats credit. They are bold. There are times, man, where heads are just floating in this film. Like, you will see someone's head and you'll see their human face on the cat head, right? And the cat head will move like this and like this, but the cat slash human face will move like this and like this. Like, the head turns, but the face doesn't turn. Or when there's a wide shot, you can tell they're like, well, that's wide. They're not gonna notice if we just don't finish it. This movie, man, it's so amazing. You have to see Cats. I have never seen the musical Cats. I've never heard any of the songs except for Memory, which I just heard other people do. So this is my absolute first time seeing anything about Cats. So the explanation that I'm giving of the story of Cats purely coming from this movie, which I'm sure is absolutely accurate. The very first frame of this movie, just to get you in the mood of what you're about to experience, you see the night sky, there are clouds, and then all of a sudden, the face of a cat blurs into a cloud, like a Lion King situation. You see a cat's face in a cloud. This is how the movie starts, y'all. So I'm already like, I'm in. Bring it on. This movie can't decide how they want their cats to walk because sometimes they'll walk like humans. They'll be on 2 feet, walking around, they just furry, whatever. But then other times they'll have them on all fours. Now keep in mind, they have not changed their hands and feet. So even though they look like cats, we're talking about some human hands and human feet on cat bodies with human faces, and some of them wear clothes and some of them don't, so you get this silhouette of a much taller human who just drops a bag on the ground and all the cats scurry around it and they're all literally making cat noises too, going, and they open up the bag and you get the Francesca Hayward cat, which her name is, I got the cat's names in here. Victoria, right? Victoria, yes. There's a whole song that starts off basically talking about what kind of cat are you? Are you a minx cat? Are you a lynx cat? They're the Jellicle Cats. That's the name of their group, the Jellicle Cats. And they want to see if she's, you know, worthy of being a part of the Jellicle Cats. And this song goes on forever. I guess it's like the intro song that gets you into the world of cats, but it's just weird and it's long and you're still trying to figure out how exactly this whole cat thing is gonna work. And they even throw in cat puns. They're like, what's your name? What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? I'm like, we doing this? Let's go. So when she says her name is Victoria, they're like, well, okay, that's one of 3 names you have. That's her human given name. What's your real cat name? Everyone's got crazy names in this. There's like a Jenny Annie Dots and Mr. Mistopheles and Lady Deuteronomy and what's his name? Maclavicle, McKellan, what's his name? Macavity. But then, like, there's one cat named Gus. Someone got the short end of the stick on the naming. There was a cat that, like, kept popping up. What was his name? Oh my gosh, Monku Strap. So I think he's like the narrator cat. Monku Strap, he seems to be like the cat liaison. Victoria also meets Mr. Mistopheles, who's like the magical cat. So he does like magic tricks. He's got a top hat, but he's always pulling out flowers. They're all waiting to go to the Jellicle Ball tonight. And one of the cats at the Jellicle Ball will be the Jellicle Chosen Cat, and they will get to ascend to basically be reincarnated, to have a rebirth, and their rebirth gets to be whatever they want to be, whatever their dream or desire is. There's not a lot of dialogue going on between each song, and each song is just basically, let me introduce you to this random cat. When we get to Rebel Wilson cat, that is when this thing gets popped off. I think her name is what, Jenny Annie Dots? Jenny Annie Dots. They go directly to the Rebel Wilson stick. Every scene is her jumping on something, falling over something, tripping over something, having a little ad lib here and there, just pure Rebel Wilson, and she does a musical number that involves her tap dancing. At one point, she unzips her fur and pulls it off to showcase that she has an outfit, a tap dancing outfit, underneath her fur, with fur underneath that tap dancing outfit. I have so many questions about that. She pulls back a curtain in the kitchen, and behind that curtain is a bunch of singing, dancing mice. Now, if you think the face on the cats look weird, wait till you see the faces on these mice. They have like almost like kid-like faces, but they're on these little tiny mouse bodies. And because they want to show you how big a cat is compared to a mouse, they're like super small. And you can't do a squeaky voice every time you talk. And they're singing and dancing along with Rebel Wilson. And I'm like, this is getting insane. She then summons an army of CGI human-faced cockroaches. Army of cockroaches starts marching. They're kind of like the Rockettes, or like, you know how they have the synchronized swim dancers that you see sometimes in musicals, like, you know, the whole chorus line type of thing. It's like that. They do a march. They march on the ground. They march underneath the table. They march on top of the table. There's a giant cake in the middle of the table. They march and do a dance on top of the cake. And then Jenny Annie Dots, Rebel Wilson cat, decides that she's just gonna start picking up some of these cockroaches and eating them. The actual like CG human cockroach people things, and you see it like right in front of your face, you see it eating. And that's so before I can even process that, that's when Jason Derulo comes in as Rum Tum Tugger. So he's like the cool cat that like everybody loves. So he comes out, he's dancing and everything. All the ladies love him. Like when Rum Tum Tugger comes out, when Jason Derulo cat comes out, every female cat in this movie gets horny as hell. They are all just like, oh! And he's all like, yeah! And he's doing his song and dance, and it turns into a whole R&B type thing. The Rum Tum Tugger is a curious cat. If you put me in the house, I want to go out. These two twin cats show up, and they start popping and locking. And then Rebel Wilson is like, oh, I can do that. So she starts popping and locking. Jason Derulo wore like a fishbone gold chain. Always look at his face, because he smiles so big the entire time on that cat face. They'll just cut to him, he's all like, oh, the best part, he's in like this milk bar, right? And then he's all like, I don't want no milk. And then he steps out of the milk bar and he looks back in the milk bar and he just goes, milk! And then runs back into the milk bar. And all the lady cats are dancing, and he gets up on stage and they're all like underneath looking, and then he pulls out Victoria from it. And then at one point, like Victoria's like dancing around him, and she pulls like her leg out and he grabs her foot like it's a microphone and starts singing into her foot. And Idris Elba cat. Oh yes, oh yes. He showed up a little bit early to check out Victoria. He's like, oh, a new cat. Oh, who are you? So he's Macavity. He can disappear and reappear anytime he wants. He's like the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland. So he comes up to Jenny Annie Dots, Rebel Wilson cat. He's all like, you are a great dancer. You should be on the big stage. I mean, I could see your face on a poster. And he points over to a bunch of posters, and she looks over and it's a bunch of wanted posters with Macavity's face on it. And when she turns back around, they both disappear. There's a dust in the air. Gone. Moving on. When Rum Tum Tugger runs out, finishing his musical number, he runs to Jennifer Hudson cat and does like a little and runs off, and then all the cats like look at her and they just don't like her. They're all like hissing at her like, get out of here. And she's looking all sad. Poor Jennifer Hudson. She looks sad in this entire movie, I'm sure for various reasons. Grizabella, so she used to be part of the Jericho Cats, but I guess she went away with Macavity. Sorry, I'm allergic to cats. She left them to go live the life of glamour. They call her the glamour cat. But of course, Macavity kicked her to the curb. She came back home and now nobody likes her. So she's just roaming around on the streets by herself, looking all ragged. She's got like the same fur coat that she's probably worn for a long time. Why cats with fur are wearing fur coats, I don't know. She basically has like this one strand of snot. It's just like right around here, and it just stays there the entire movie. Like every time she's singing or looking sad, there's just like this little snot train. It's like she cries through her nose. Okay, she is standing on her feet. She is standing up, but for some reason, the first time she leaves, she turns around, gets on all fours, and, and walks away on all fours down an alley. And I'm like, this Oscar-winning actress getting on all fours, we're shooting it from her backside, just crawling away into the alley. But let's move on. This is when James Corden shows up. So James Corden is playing Buster for Jones. He's the cat about town, but he basically knows where food is. And his whole bit is he eats. More fat jokes. It's just him going from trash can to trash can, eating food. You get a whole musical number, and it's very much James Corden. Like, they even stopped the song at one point so he can do his James Cordenisms, because they put him on one of those little platforms, like seesaw platforms, and one tiny cat tries to jump on it to make him jump up, and he's all like, did you really think that's gonna work? I mean, look at you, look at me, munching on like chicken bones and chicken legs and fish. And there's one point where he falls into a trash can where Rum Tum Tugger, Jason Derulo cat, is sitting in there with two cat ladies, and then a bottle of champagne spills over, and you see CGI champagne spilling into James Corden's mouth, and he's just going out. He's like, and then when he's all done with his musical number, who's perched up looking at him but freaking Macavity, Idris Elba cat, is like, oh, look at this. A cat wearing spats. I should call you Puss in Spats. Hey, Puss in Spats, I got something for you. And then there's a giant trash can in front of him with food on top. And he's all like, you know you want it, Puss in Spats. You know you want that food. Go ahead, take it. He jumps in the trash can to eat the food, but I guess it wasn't filled with food. It was only like a top layer of fake food. So he falls through it, and then you see him join Jenny Anydot's Rebel Wilson's cat, and they're on this boat out in the middle of the water. Idris Elba, Macavity, he's trying to kidnap all the other cats, so that way he will be the chosen one to be reborn. So now we get a boat in this movie, and like a pirate cat or something like that. His name's like Growl Tiger or something. And I'm just like, Is this the actual plot of the musical? Like, is this how this works? So then we get like these twin cats, not the ones that were pop locking earlier, a different set of twin cats. Their names are Mungo Jelly, right? Mungo Jelly and what's the other one? Mungo Jerry. In the summertime when the weather is fine. And Rumpelteazer. And they're basically cat burglars, or they're like cats that like go in this home and they mess the whole place up. They steal jewelry, they break stuff, and they bring Victoria along. And you could tell there's something shady about them. And they also love to like put their tails on Victoria's face because these cats are horny as hell. But then they accidentally break a vase, so then you hear a dog bark, and I have to say, this is the point of the movie where I was honestly disappointed. Because they had this dog bark, and I'm just like, oh, please show this dog. Please show the dog. But they never show the dog, and I was really disappointed by this, because I was like, this is a good opportunity. What would you do here if you actually showed a dog? Would you show a real dog, or would you show a person that looks like a dog the same way you're doing the cats? This was a missed opportunity. Mungo Jerry and Rumpelteazer, they get out of there. So then poor Victoria's by herself. So Mr. Mistopheles comes in, saves her, and it's like, let's get back to the other cats and get back to our supposed plot, because the Jellicle Ball is about to start. And here comes the queen of the Jellicle Ball. The head cat is gonna run this whole thing, Lady Deuteronomy. We get another song, and out of the shadows, out of the CGI shadows, comes Dame Judi Dench as a cat. Her face comes first, followed by her cat body. And everyone's all like singing to her, and then when she walks by, cats are like purring their head next to her fur coat, touching her and stuff, and she's just walking through, and then she finally says something at the end. It's just so funny to see Judi Dench as a cat. And then when she comes out, everyone's all like, I believe it is old Deuteronomy. The music in this thing is so interesting. Once again, Grizabella, Jennifer Hudson cat, is walking around looking po. Victoria notices her, and then that's when you get like a little sampling of memory. You don't get the full memory yet. She ain't going full Hudson yet. You get like a little taste. She's like, and then Victoria's all like, something with ghost. Old Deuteronomy is all like, oh, now I'm gonna sing a little song too. And it's just so weird. So then Victoria goes in, sings a little bit of the song of Deuteronomy. She's all like, you know what? You're a Jellicle cat. You're not the chosen one yet, but I think there's potential in you. So then the Jellicle Ball begins, so everyone just starts dancing. Just every cat just starts breaking it down. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Ian McKellan shows up. He's Gus. Gus is a theater cat. I guess there was like some play or something that needed a cat to perform, so he got that opportunity. So that's what he's known for now, being a theater cat. And Ian McKellan, man, he is on a whole different level with this movie. He is on a different movie than everybody else. When everyone else is being human-like, but still as cats, Ian McKellan was like, nah, I'm going full cat. Meow. There's one point where he does that. He goes, meow. And I was like, have you met Sonic? Meow. Just... And the entire time that he is performing his song, Judi Dench cat, Old Deuteronomy, is laying on this little cat bed. She's like laying to the side, and she's just like this the whole time. She is like giving him the sex eyes. She is staring him down the entire time. And they don't just show it one time. Like, they do multiple takes back to her just like, she says nothing. She's these cats are horny as hell. And then when he's done, when his performance is over, they look over to her and she just goes, "Row," and kicks her leg up, and I'm like, what? Damn, Judi Dench cat, get it on. Oh man, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. You don't know, man. You gotta see this movie, dude. And then who shows up? Macavity. And he's all like, oh, Gus. Oh, I'm a big fan of yours. You're one of my favorites. Can I get your autograph? Gus, the theater cat, Ian McKellan goes over to sign the autograph and poof, gone. Put on the boat. So then all of a sudden they start talking about some, what's his name? Skimble Shanks? Yeah, Skimble Shanks. This cat we've never met yet. Like, they introducing new characters halfway into this thing. So Skimble Shanks is the railway cat. I guess he's a cat that like hangs out on a train, but he comes in like a cat like train conductor uniform, like suspenders. You see them dancing in his theater at first, and then all of a sudden they start dancing on a railroad track, and then all of a sudden they're actually in a train. And then he starts tap dancing because he has tap dancing shoes. Some cats don't wear shoes. Some cats wear spats. Some cats wear heels. He wears tap dancing shoes. Some of them wear clothes. Some of them don't. Some of them have fur coats. Some of them don't. I don't understand the rules. And then for his final move, he spins around really fast and he spins up in the air. And everyone's all like, ooh. And then right when he gets to the very top of the building, poof, gone. And you hear that laugh. And I was like, oh, Macavity. And then, oh my gosh, Macavity wants to introduce himself, but he can't do it himself. He's got to have somebody sing for him. So that's when we get, what is it, Bombalina? Bombalina, played by Taylor Swift. Now, when these trailers came out, I was making a joke that I think I'm more attracted to cat Taylor Swift than human Taylor Swift. And I was saying that as a joke. I was being all silly and funny. That being said, I'm sorry. I know it's going to sound weird, but Taylor Swift as this cat is probably the sexiest performance you will ever see of Taylor Swift. Imagine Jessica Rabbit from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Now make Jessica Taylor Swift and then put her in fur, and that's what you get in this. This freaking moon prop comes down and she's laying all on top of it. She is all out. They got, I mean, for some reason with the dudes in this movie, like, it is completely clean down there. Like, there is no bulge whatsoever. You don't see anything. It is nice and smooth. But for some reason, every female cat, boom, she's dropping down on this moon, right? And she's got catnip in her hand. She's like dropping it down. Now, you probably saw it in the trailer and you're thinking, oh, that's cute. That's a funny little joke. She's got catnip. No, this is a plot point. She starts spreading this catnip over everybody. And when you get hit with this catnip, you are on drugs. These cats are all like twitching and stuff every time the catnip hits them. They're like, oh my God. I don't know if you know this about me, but I smoke catnip. Them cats, when they get all hopped up on that catnip, they start looking at each other and they're like, come here, okay? They are nuzzling up against some other cat like, oh my gosh, this nip. This is a fever dream. This is not happening. This is not real. I am dreaming this right now. This can't exist. It exists. And she's doing this whole song about Macavity. Macavity's not there. Ba-bum, bum, ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. I'm like, what is going on and why am I attracted to this? This is weird. You making me feel weird things, cats. She is doing this whole musical number, and every time some cat gets hit with this catnip, they start becoming part of the musical number as well. But this is the only thing she does. They put her in so many trailers, in so many commercials, but if you string those pieces together, that's her whole performance. And as soon as that musical performance is done, Idris Elba, Macavity shows up. Now, in the entire movie, the whole movie so far, Macavity has been one of these cats that wears a fur coat. He has a hat on and a fur coat. But for some reason, at this point of the movie, he decides not to wear either. So you just get basically a black bear fur Idris Elba cat, because he just wears nothing. And he goes straight up to Deuteronomy and is like, I'm here, make me the chosen one. And she's all like, never, I'll never choose you. Idris Elba cat's like, fine, I'm kidnapping you. Poof, they disappear, go on the boat, and he's all like, you got one more chance, you better make me the chosen cat. She's like, I'll never make you the cat. He's like, fine then you walk the plank. So then they put her on a plank, and what's his name, Growl Tiger or whatever it is, Tony the Tiger, grabs his gigantic stick, starts poking her, like, walk the plank. What is this movie? What is going on? So then we cut back to the dance. And they're like, what do we do? How do we bring back Deuteronomy? And then Victoria's like, Mr. Mistopheles, you're a magician. You're a magical cat. Use your magical powers to bring her back. And he's like, I don't do that kind of magic, girl. I do like mice out of hats and flowers and stuff. Like, I can't be bringing people back from one location to the other. But they're like, oh no, you can do it if you just believe. They're like, all right. So of course this means that Mr. Mistopheles has to have his song. So he's all like, oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. No, Judi Dench shows up. He does it again. Sings a little song about himself. A cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. And he does it again. Nothing happens. And he keeps singing and singing. And he keeps doing it. And at one time, Victoria's like, you just gotta believe. And he believes. And he sings it. And he looks. There's nothing there. And then all of a sudden, from behind, Judi Dench just shows up. Oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. And then someone goes, and we all say, oh, well, I never was there ever. And then everyone starts singing, a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. And they keep singing this over and over again. Oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. And then at this point, Mr. Mistopheles just goes full Harry Potter wizard. He's like using his magic wand, and trumpets and drums start floating in the air, playing themselves while everyone keeps singing, oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. I'm just like, people back from boats back into the jungle hall. He doesn't do that for anybody else. Everyone else is still on the boat, so they get themselves loose and start fighting. Freaking Rebel Wilson cat uses a chain like nunchucks and goes, "Don't mess with the crazy cat lady," and then she hits somebody in the balls. Okay, we're almost there. We're almost there. So now that everyone's happy again, Victoria walks outside, brings in Grizabella, Jennifer Hudson cat. Everyone, of course, is like, "Ooh, what's she doing here?" And she's like, "No, let her sing. And then that's when we get that moment. That's when Jennifer Hudson's like, "You know what? I went through 2 hours of me dressed up like a cat. I'm gonna bring it right now." And you know she does. Make fun of this movie all you want to, but that's fire right there. She is bringing it. So of course, after she sings that song, Deuteronomy's like, "It's you. You're the chosen cat. You're the Jellicle chosen one." So they put her in the base of a hot air balloon. And it starts floating into the sky, goes out of the theater. But old Macavity tries one more time. He jumps and tries to grab onto a rope to see if he can be taken as well. But of course, he slips off the rope, lands on top of a statue, somehow has lost his magic power. So, you know, Taylor Swift cat, nowhere to be found. And Jennifer Hudson is just crying as a hot air balloon descends into the air. She's dead, I'm guessing. They killed her off. She's gone to heaven to be reincarnated or reborn. I don't know, man. This movie's weird. This musical is weird. I don't understand the concepts. Judi Dench and the other cats are surrounding Judi Dench cat, and she's looking up at Jennifer Hudson cat going away. And then I kid you not, I'm not kidding, she turns directly into camera. She turns directly to you, and she does this whole musical number of how you should address a cat, and that a cat is not a dog, and a cat should be treated properly. And she's singing this song to you, and everyone around her is looking at her while she is looking at you. It is so weird, and it's just a close-up of her just singing directly into camera to you. And it's not like a little like, "Hey, thanks for watching Cats." It's like a whole musical number. Still playing character and still be singing a song from the movie / musical, but saying it directly to you while everyone else in the cast is looking at her doing it. It is the weirdest thing to ever see. And I absolutely love it. And then the cats do this whole like big musical number in front of a lion, and then they take a bow. And then once again, we see hot air balloon Jennifer Hudson cat going into the air, goes behind the clouds, but now it's daytime. The end. It's just, oh, you have to see this movie, y'all. Like, I'm explaining it to you, but I don't even think I can do it justice. It literally has to be seen to understand what I went through, what we saw. I love every minute of it, though. I absolutely love it. I'm not even lying. I am so glad I saw this. I will see it again. I feel like The Cats has a potential to be the next The Room, Rocky Horror, just one of those movies where you just start doing weird shit while you're watching it in the theater. Like, it has that potential. It is just so odd. If you don't see it in the theater, if you're like, "I can't spend money," I understand, but please, at least when it's digital, please trust me on this one. You will not be the same afterwards. Universal. Mwah. Mwah. Freaking Cats, man. Beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. Are you going to see Cats? You should. If you're new here, please subscribe. Please tell me other movies like this that I can watch, because I need them in my life. I love you like a play cousin. I'm out at 5,000. Ba-bum, ba-bum, bum. Oh, well, I never was there ever a nerd so clever as magical Andre Black Nerd Comedy.